Leans the girl. Yeah.
At long last, I've succeeded in getting those vexatious vermin out of my feathers. Phase 1 of today's plan has been a resounding success. But fire alarm ought to keep them occupied for a considerable length of time. Enough to enact my plan, anyway. Splendid! Now to seize the moment and claim my victory over that rube once more. No one would ever suspect little Eveline of causing irreparable damage to Drozdov's unfortunate little weeds. Nor would they ever discover that she used untraceable, industrial-grade herbicide to do the job with. Oh, I can't wait to see the look on that old crow's face when he comes in dead last. Now, to find Milos' entry. Ah, there it is. I find myself rather uninspired looking at this piece. Perhaps foul play won't be necessary, and I can win by my own merit. As if. Goodbye, Mr. Joss. What in the heavens is going on? It's growing?
A plant? The plant is speaking? You have awoken us.
Ah!
Rule, Milo, and I run to the source of the alarm as fast as we can. Emil in tow. I tried to tell him to get somewhere safe, but there was no way he was going to miss out on his big scoop. Along the way, I yank one of the fire extinguishers off the wall. If there's one upside to all this, it's that I can tell I have more stamina than I did a month ago. Here's to no longer getting winded after running for 10 seconds. It's here, right? Correct. We have arrived at source of alarm. Strange. I don't see any fire. Maybe it's somewhere we can't see. There would be signs. He's right. I don't smell any smoke either. Do you think someone pulled the alarm by accident? Not by accident. He tips his beak to a red handle on the wall. There's shards of broken glass on the floor, probably from the sheet that had been protecting it. Judging by amount of shards, this was done with considerable force. Most likely prank. Or... His eyes widen. Eveline. She must have tried to get people away from judging room. You really think that a 9-year-old could have done all this? I would not put it past her. And you would be wise not to underestimate her. So, there isn't a fire after all? He slouches, his tone almost disappointed. It doesn't seem like. He's interrupted by a loud crash coming from behind us. I prick up my ears, picking up a creaking noise that seems to draw closer and closer. Watch out! Green appendages wind around the corner of the hallway, flowers and what look like sharp thorns bursting from every area they touch. One of the vines is heading right for Emil, and before anyone else can act or even move a muscle, Milo shoves him out of the way. The lamprey falls to the ground just as the thorny vine spears itself into the wall at the end of the hall. Anyone mind telling me what the heck just happened? I don't know. Milo, plants aren't supposed to be doing this, are they? Milo doesn't respond, not immediately. His beak is clenched shut, his gaze distant. I watch the crow pull a flower from one of them, inspecting it closely. Most certainly not. Something's afoot. Or should I say, a root. I bury my face in my paws. Not in the mood for puns, I suppose. Another crash rings out through the hallway and more vines slither out from behind the corner, hurtling at us at breakneck speeds. And neither are they! In here! Milo yanks me into what appears to be a dark broom closet. Rule and Emil diving in right behind us before he shuts the door, and we hear the sound of vines breaking the wall once more. I'll keep the jokes to myself next time. I thought this was a floral art thing, not a killer plant thing. Trouble really does seem to follow you wherever you go, huh, Alex? It really is just like college. Yeah, well, the trouble I got up to in college didn't involve almost getting impaled by thorns and vines. The door rattles as what I can only assume are more vines bash it. Without any hesitation, Milo takes one of the mops sitting against the wall and barricades it. We're not getting out of here anytime soon, are we? If we want to, we need to come up with a plan. Considering damage it did to wall, I estimate single swipe of vine would be enough to break bones. Moreover, I am concerned. Even in the darkness, I can tell he's holding up the flower he plucked from the vine. This is from my piece. I saw your piece this morning, and it was definitely not sprouting tentacles or trying to maim us. Correct. That means someone tampered with it. This is one thing I cannot see Aline achieve. So the source is wherever the pieces were being stored for judging. If we're holed up here, I can only imagine the dangers everyone else in the building must be facing right about now. Luckily, I came prepared. You brought our gear? He holds up his suitcase. Always have it on me in case of emergency. I should have known. Don't worry, Milo. We'll get to the root of this issue. Get it? Root? Is he always like this? Let's just get the damn costumes on. Costumes? It's a long story. Ah, that's better. I could do without the getting changed in a dark room that has my ex in it and is currently being assaulted by plant spit. Variety's the Variety's the spice of life, Spot. Yeah, well, this is too spicy for me. The room we have to reach is on the other side of building. We will have to be quick and rescue civilians en route. Wait a minute, we? You joining us, Milo? I am partly responsible for situation, and you came here to support me. I will bear responsibility. I hear the clang of metal, and as Milo kicks the door open, I catch a glimpse of him holding up a pair of gardening shears that I noticed sitting against the wall earlier. It is time to brew and garden. And what about me? I step out into the light with Milo. You should probably stay here where it's safe. And miss out on the scoop of a lifetime? No He stops mid-sentence, tilting his head. What are you even... Hold up. You're the Glory Hounds? That's what the whole costume thing was about? I'll tell you when we get back, okay? And miss out on the scoop of a century? No way, Jose. Emil, listen to me. This is gonna get very dangerous. You could get hurt, or worse. Please listen to your friend, Emil. It is for your own safety. But... Okay, I'll cut you a deal. A deal? You get your ass to safety, and in return you get an exclusive interview with the illustrious Glory Hounds and about what happened here today. How's that? The lamprey perks up suddenly. Exclusive, you say? I nudge Rule with my elbow. Yes, exclusive. You have our word, literally and figuratively. Emil considers that for a moment, unaware he's costing us precious seconds. Okay, fine. We have ourselves a deal then. Then get yourself to safety, civilian. Now! Yes, sir! He runs off while letting out a loud, yeehaw! Are we done wasting time? Rulu and I nod. Then let's go. Whatever caused this, it's completely taken over City Hall. The formerly pristine hallways now resemble what I can only describe as a rugged jungle. Several doors are barred by vines and growths, windows smashed with their thick tree trunks jutting out of them. I have to be careful where I walk to avoid tripping over bushes and stepping on thorns. The grass in here comes up to my waist. At least there's no signs of the vines that attacked us yet. Milo walks up front, snipping anything that blocks our path with the shears. Almost feels like we're on some expedition. This place got quite the makeover. If the situation weren't so dire, I'd almost call it beautiful. I swat a branch out of the way. It swings back and thwaps me in the nose. Ow! You, definitely don't see this every day, that's for sure. At least we haven't run into any more plants trying to kill us, that's a plus. I've seen no sign of anyone else so far. Here's hoping they all evacuated when the fire alarm was pulled. Fingers crossed. Milo gestures for us to stop. What's wrong? Listen. Those are... footsteps? Might be other survivors. Please don't start using the word survivors. Hello! Anyone there? We're coming to rescue you! Milo hushes Rule. What are you doing? They need to know they're safe, Milo. We cannot rule out the possibility of enemy presence. The footsteps stop. I think they heard us. I hear the creaks and groans of wood before what looks like a person emerges from the shrubbery. Only it isn't a person. What the? More like a monster, with skin made of bark and leaves sticking out of an earthen torso. It's unlike anything I've ever seen before, and it seems to regard us the same way once it notices us coming in our direction. Rule steps forward next to Milo, who's already got his gardening shears at the ready, and raises a hand. We mean you no harm. It tilts his head. What does a plant monster sound like?
More of you.
As it moves towards us, its vines begin to sprout from its arms. They move like thorny tendrils lashing at the surroundings. One smashes a potted cactus, which immediately seems to merge with it like a pointy flail. Cease hostilities at once.
You wish to stand in our way.
Hey, stop, don't! Out of nowhere, the tendril extends hard and fast. It nearly spears Rahul, but Milo pushes him out of the way at the last moment, lunging for the creature with the gardening shears. He snips the tendril off at the base, then kicks the monster-looking thing down. I watch the vine writhe on the floor before it lies still. Give it to me. I throw the vine over to him, careful not to prick myself, and he gets to work tying the creature up. It seems to be unconscious for now. Unconscious? What the heck is it? Some sort of unknown plant-based life form, it would seem. And it's hostile. He shakes his head. This situation just got a lot more complicated. And scarier. The hell could have happened to Milo's piece to create a freaking plant zombie? Rule? We will settle hows and whys after situation is dealt with. Do you think there's more out there? There are bound to be. We must hurry. Lives are in danger.
Get to safety, Emil. It's too dangerous. Pah. I mean, they've got a point, but still. I mean, it's just plants. Plants aren't that scary, are they? Unless it's carnivorous ones, like the ones from that one movie. I should just go out there. No famous journalist got anywhere just waiting around in the dark. I can see the headlines now. Pristine place pounded by pointy plants. City Hall in ruins. Yes! Ha 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 ha! They'll have to promote me to the crime department after this.
The hallways were bad, but this is on a whole other level. The entrance hall looks like it came straight out of some nature documentary. Any furniture not nailed to the floor has been flipped upside down, and the few things that have got impaled by growths. And that's without mentioning the ivy climbing up the marble pillars, practically growing before our eyes. What a mess. Guess the building's due for another set of renovations. It doesn't look like there's any people here, at least. We're lucky the fire alarm was pulled when it was. This could have gotten a lot nastier if folks hadn't been evacuated. We are not out of woods yet. I mean, I can see that. You know, with all the trees. I meant it as figure of speech. I groan. I know. At least we haven't run into more of those plant monsters. Help! I spoke too soon, didn't I? Oh, that was not the mayor's voice. Damn you, question marks. No, the mayor just screams in a high-pitched voice. That's his mayor's voice. He brandishes the gardening shears. They, along with his glasses, glimmer in the sunlight filtering in through the window. He already looked pretty intimidating before, but today's events brought an entirely new side out of him. No time to lose! Raoul sprints in the direction the cry came from. Hound, wait! Before Milo finishes, a vine that I hadn't seen latches onto Raoul's ankle from below and yanks, flooring him immediately. I hear a groan from Milo as it pulls Raoul's heavy frame into the air, the Rottweiler swaying and bouncing. Watch your step, Duskhound. Noted. A little help here? The crow casually saunters over and snips the vine. The boss crashes to the ground with a grunt. I stifle a chuckle. Situations like this make me realize my back isn't what it used to be. Then perhaps it is wise to avoid situations like this in future by minding step, yes? You got me there. Let's try this one again, shall we? He runs off again, a little more hesitation in his step this time. Milo follows, shears in hand. His one working eye flicks left to right, inspecting every shrub and every twig methodically. Follow my steps exactly, Duskhound. Right. I've said it before, but man, you really keep a cool head in these situations. It is what I was trained for. Acting on impulse only leads to disaster. He gives Raoul, who's currently mowing his thick arms through some very tall grass, a pointed look. Yeah, give it a rest already. Blasted. Ow! He winces, clutching his arm. What happened? Nettle sting. What is it? Nothing. A sudden craving for nettle tea. Oh, finally, someone's come to my aid. Okay, good. It was the mayor's voice again. I was gonna be so pissed if that became a lean for some reason. That's the mayor's voice again. But where? I look up. Sure enough, there he is, suspended upside down from the ceiling. A sight I never thought I'd see when I voted for at the last election. Mayor, are you hurt? Not physically, though I find myself in a rather unfortunate predicament all the same, as you can see. The thick vine he's hanging from swings back and forth like a pendulum as he shouts. Do you have an idea how this happened? I was just on my way back to the judging room when I heard the fire alarm. I wanted to make sure everyone was alright, but then a loud bang rang out. Rue looks at me. That must have been the sound we heard. It gave me quite the start. As for what happened after, well, I seem to have lost consciousness. The very next thing I remember is waking up in this position. Which, might I remind you, is still fairly uncomfortable. Have you seen Aline? I have reason to believe she is still in building. Last I saw her, she asked me for directions to our gallery. Roughly a minute or two before the fire alarm went off. His face falls and the arc of his swinging grows as he raises his voice. Heavens, you don't think she's hurt, do you? Milo narrows his eyes just a little. We will initiate the rescue mission. I'd be most grateful. Could you, also get me down from here while you're at it? Yes. Just give me a mo... The sound of a camera shutter rings out through the hall. I cover my eyes, but they still sting. When I open them again, the mayor's swinging back and forth even faster. The vines wrapping tighter and tighter around his body.
This is brilliant. A front page article for sure.
I turn around and am nearly blinded by another camera flash. If not for the mesh in the mask, I'd be seeing stars by now. Sure enough, a certain lamprey's lanky silhouette slowly shifts into focus. I can hear Milo grumble behind me. I have a feeling today is going to be difficult. Emil, where did you come from? I thought I told you to get to safety.
And miss the career opportunity of a lifetime? A fat chance.
He aims the camera at the mayor. Milo reaches out to block his shot, but it's too late. Another click of the shutter. Another flash. Then a scream rings out as the vine wrapped around the mayor seems to recoil, letting him fall to the floor from a considerable height. Rule reaches for something on his belt that's roughly the size and shape of a jelly bean. Before the mayor can hit the floor, he tosses it, and it proceeds to rapidly swell in size just in time for the mayor to crash into it like a beanbag. No doubt sore, but safe. What was that? A new thingamajig I developed to cushion falls after you told me about what happened with Camus. It's still in its testing phase, but it seems to have done the job. Are you alright, Mayor? The mayor reaches for his antlers as if to feel whether they're still there. Physically, yes. Mentally, I think I'm due for a sabbatical. Milo turns to Emil, whose jovial demeanor dissipates rapidly when met by the crow's cold stare. What were you thinking? He thrusts his hands in his pockets, looking down. At least we know they don't like bright flashes of light. We can keep that in our back pocket for future encounters. The plants around us stir. Almost all of us collectively gasp in response. Branches crack and shift, vines slither. There might not be any future encounters if we're not careful. The plants coil around each other, changing shape. Bark, vines, and flowers start to sprout from clumps of earth until they form fully bipedal creatures. Rule and I look at each other, shocked, but Milo hasn't so much as raised an eyebrow. Dawnhound, Duskhound, assume combat positions. I lock eyes with one of the plant creatures shambling towards us, dragging spiky vines behind it. What's the plan? Back to back. Don't let them catch you from behind. That is agreeable tactic. This isn't going to turn into another Dawn Tornado situation, is it? Good thinking, Spot. It's nice to have a little ace up our sleeves. I was afraid you'd say that. Also, you don't even have sleeves. As for you two, stay behind us. You don't gotta tell me twice. Emil looks more conflicted, clutching his camera. Emil, listen to him. This could get nasty. He hesitates, then nods, hiding behind us just in time for the first of the monsters to come barreling towards us. Way faster than the one we saw before. Raoul kicks the beanbag the mayor landed on towards it, knocking it down right before it can take a swipe at us. The beanbag shrinks down to its previous size almost instantly. It seems like the shrinking function works too. I didn't think this would have combat applications, but... Milo grabs him and pulls him out of the way from another monster rushing towards us, sticking his foot out to make it fall instead. Eyes on target, Hound. Terribly sorry. Whoa! Another creature approaches with extended hand, tendrils sprouting and rushing towards me in the blink of an eye. I aim and shoot my grappling gun, knocking the thorned appendage off course and straight through a window. Oh no! We just had those repaired last year. The creature closes the distance, and I find its face inches away from mine. What are you?
Where are we?
The creatures speak all at once, their voices pitched slightly different from like some strange choir. It's sounding a little more coherent than the one on our way over did, at least. Shippersburg, City Hall. The one in front of me tilts its head in confusion. I try to push it away, but it's far too heavy.
We do not know this place. To be fair, it's a bit hard to navigate with all the vines and...
I put my hand against Emil's mouth. Not helping. The creature takes a step back, lowering its arms. I feel like it's waiting for me to say or do something. What are you? I gesture to the destroyed lobby around us. And what's all this?
We used to be a creature. A creature of flesh and bones and blood. When the world was young and the forest green. When we awoke, we were here. Only vine and bark remain. We used to be one. Now we are many.
So you were just acting up after waking up in a strange place. I hear the mayor squeak behind us. Acting up? Oh, that's not going to be a good excuse for insurance at all. I have theory, but it remains to be proven.
Is this one of those climate change things? Because I swear I've been recycling.
I've got some theories of my own as well. The fossil in the amber, right? Yes, but I do not see how Aline could have revived it, even by accident. The creatures seem to focus on Milo for a moment.
We recognize you. Only flashes, faint memories, like dreams. The one who created us. You took care of us.
They speak in unison once more.
It's like a strange symphony, except it's not music. We offer apologies for attacking you. We are sorry, Master.
Master? I see Raoul stifle a chuckle while Milo stares, dumbfounded.
We recognize the one, clad in black, as well. He came to visit us many times.
This time it's Raoul that freezes. Milo's head turns so fast that I fear it may snap off. The rest of us inch back as if in self-defense. You just what, Hound? We had a rule. Simple rule. You were to stay out of greenhouse unless given my permission. His eyes are wide, his hands trembling. I just wanted to see what you were working on, and I ran some tests. I figured you really wanted to win, so you came up with another invention. I was thinking this was case, but I did not want to believe it. I did not want to believe best friend of over 20 years would violate trust so flagrantly. I just wanted to help. Look around you, Hound. Rule's eyes dart to destroyed windows, splintered desks, the mayor nervously wringing his hands. This is where your help gets us. Something goes wrong, you wish to play hero, and others have to clean up mess you leave behind. I didn't think. Before Rule can even finish his sentence, the plants shake and twitch, leaves and vines rustling violently.
We obey. We will neutralize the threat.
What's going on? The creatures seem to convulse erratically, as if a spasm is running through their very being. They turn toward us again and raise their vines at us, their movements much more ungainly. I don't think they're willing to do any more negotiating. Duskhound, Dawnhound, get ready to fight and defend the mayor and ex-boyfriend. We make our way toward gallery. Roger. I stand slightly behind Milo and pull the mayor behind me. For once, Emil remains quiet and joins the mayor. Rule hesitates for a moment and fidgets. Milo, I said get ready! With a snip-snap of his shears, Milo takes up a combat position. I can tell from his body language that he's not going to mess around. The creatures seem to be waiting for us to make a move, though their vines are shaking as if they're trying to yank away a straggler. I glance at Rule, who seems a little out of it. As much as I'd like to talk to him or comfort him, right now we have civilians to protect. Boss! Oh. Right! He regains his composure and sandwiches the mayor and Emil between us. Stay close, and keep your back to mine. Alex, I'll cover the rear. You back up Milo and guard the front. Yes, sir. I wish I had a spear or a polearm, or one of those boot axes Rule tried to convince me to add to my costume as recently as last week. Failing that, I ready my grappling gun. Advance! Milo does not miss a beat and charges at the largest creature in front of him, the one who did most of the talking. I'm wondering if he's figured out their hierarchy or something.
Do not get in our way, Master. We will assist in neutralizing the threat.
One of its vines swings violently at Milo. He steps to the side and catches the thorny appendage between the blades. The smaller vines around us swing in unison, directing their attack at us. Ah! The mayor ducks as I slam the vine away with the anchor of my weapon. Behind me, Rule has seemingly caught the attacks from two different creatures with his bare hands. Let's see how you like this! His muscles visibly strain against the plants as he pulls them in with all his might. They slam into each other with a loud crash, the clumps of earth holding their bodies together starting to crumble. Maybe if we hit those hard enough, they can't reform. Spot! With you. I keep one hand close to the mayor and attack them in tandem with Rule. Our kicks land at the exact same time and we send the two creatures flying into the windows of a nearby office room. Out of here! Oh no. I check to make sure the mayor's alright. He seems more horrified of the destruction than the plants at this point. I wince and mutter softly. Sorry about that, sir. I look ahead, and Milo seems to have obliterated his adversary. Covered in vines and leaves, he's got a look in his eye I don't like. Enemy down. Quick, before reinforcements arrive. I know better than to ask questions, and motion for the mayor to follow. The vines around us are slithering, but they seem to be partially retreating. It's like they lose coordination if one of their heads is taken out. So if we find the original leader, the literal root, we should be able to defeat the entire colony at once. Yes. With the path mostly clear, we make our way to the gallery as swiftly as we can, taking care to cut down any minor vines still waiting in ambush. Thankfully, we reach it without further incident, other than me having to yank Emil along every time he wants to snap a shot. At least until we get to an emergency exit. One of the ones that hasn't been overtaken by shrubbery. I check to make sure there's nothing past the door that could endanger anyone. Once I'm reasonably sure, I gesture to the outside, part of me wishing I could join right now. Alright, this is where we part ways for now, Mr. Mayor. Emil.
Are you sure I can't just hang around and get...
I'm positive. Besides, I need you to keep the mayor safe outside. It's very important.
Well, if you put it that way...
The mayor and I exchange a knowing glance. Right. Metal will be in order. And I'll speak to your superiors, of course.
Why, that would be... Okay, I accept.
Worry not, citizens. We will take care of this botanical infestation while you get yourselves to safety. And keep anyone else from entering City Hall. Not even the police or the fire department? The more targets there are inside, the harder our job will be. We don't want anyone else getting hurt. The situation is messy enough as is. With a nod, the mayor drags the still unwilling lamprey with him. Once they're past the doors, the rush of adrenaline I felt is gone with them. Now all I feel is tension crawling up my spine and a frog in my throat that won't hop out. I want to get back to business, but Milo speaks up first. Why do you always go for crazy approach without thinking things through? I made a promise, Milo. This is not what she would want. She would be ashamed of you. Suddenly, Raoul's face is inches away from Milo's, the Rottweiler having grabbed him by the collar. How dare you! Milo doesn't flinch. His expression is blank, distant. I don't think he meant what he just said. Stop it, you two! Come on! Raoul's breath catches and he lets go. I get between the two of them. Not that it'll help with both of them being twice as strong as I am, but I'm not just gonna stand there. If this isn't solving anything, there's still someone out there who needs our help. But he... We can play the blame game all we want once we're back at the base. Milo dusts himself off, straightening out his uniform. He takes a deep breath. Duskhound is correct. After business is concluded, however, this little game is through. This is the last I will be assisting you. Suit yourself. I stare at them, exasperated, wondering if this is how Lou feels with their kids sometimes. They don't say a word to one another the rest of the way to the judging room. It's to the point where I actually wish we could just get dragged into another fight. It's a nice... I think that's a nice place to end it. Not a nice place to end it, obviously, but... I feel like if we go forward, it's gonna get stuck in the middle somewhere. Drama. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it and hope to see you next time. Bye!